one of my favorite stories is where the girl infiltrated the base. This is and the aftermath of that. This is real interesting. Everybody pay attention.
The bravest people in the Cold War worked for what SAC called the Wing Security Evaluation, WSE. These guys, their job was to go unannounced to SAC bases. Nobody at the base was told that this is a test or anything. And they would try to get into the command post, the weapons storage area, the alert facility. They'd see if they could get in past the security.
In other words, SAC is testing itself constantly.
And you got to understand the guards guarding these places have a round in the chamber. And I've been told they'll never get out of prison again if something bad happens on their shift. So the people trying to break in under these circumstances are the bravest people I've ever.
Because they could easily have been shot.
Oh, absolutely, easily have been. Well, the way the story I got, of course, I wasn't there firsthand, but they showed up at Grand Forks. Like I say, always unannounced. The wing commander wasn't told, anything like that. And they sat in the parking lot of the weapons storage area, and that's the place where they stored and maintained the nukes. And they waited during shift change, and they read some airman's name tag off his fatigues. And after the shift change was done, one of the team members was an attractive young lady, and she bounced up to the entry point with a lunchbox and said, my husband is Airman Schmuck, and he forgot his lunch. Can you get this to him? And the guard evidently said, sure, whatever you want. And they sent the lunch back in there. And finally somebody says, hey, Schmuck, your wife brought the lunch. And he said, wife? What are you talking about? So, again, nobody's been told there's an exercise or anything.
Oops.
So the explosive ordnance disposal people respond, right, which is because they have to suspect it's something. And they got it out. Every SAC base had a place to deal with explosive ordnance. And they got it out there, and they x-rayed it, and it looked empty. And the way I was told the story, and they finally opened the thing up, there was a laminated card in there that says you failed the security evaluation.
Shit is right.
The full colonel in charge of security for the base was fired immediately. All of his deputies,
within an hour.
Oh, right? Yes, absolutely, right now. All of his deputies were fired. All the squadron commanders were fired, and every guard up there was decertified from guarding nuclear weapons. They had to fly people in from other bases and retrain everybody.
Wow.
It was amazing. I'd never seen anything like it. And a lot of those details I got second and third hand about how they got away. But I do know.
But you know enough to know that probably is exactly what happened.
I know they failed. I know they failed, especially. And then we were told that it was because this team had successfully gotten an unknown object into the weapons storage area.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, that was ugly. They're always evaluating us, you know. They're always trying to see if they can get you to say something, do something.
And they would tolerate no deviation from protocol.
No, not when it deals with nukes and classified. There was no margin for error. No thanks for trying.
Right. Nick and I went out to Washington a couple of years ago. Has that been 2 years ago?
I think so, yeah.
And got to go aboard a nuclear sub out there, and there were several layers of security before we were allowed on board the thing. And when we were on board, there were areas that we could not approach. And
I'm sure. I've never been on one, but I
they didn't want us asking about it and stuff. It was a fascinating day. It really was.
Oh, I bet.
It was absolutely amazing. But the level of security around nuclear devices and stuff, they just do not tolerate the slightest bit of slop.
No.
It's
not just, I mean, security, yes, but it's maintenance of the stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
When you were pulling nuclear alert in a bomber, your crew was on alert when the crew commander signed for the weapons. There's a receipt, and when I signed that thing, then my crew is now on alert. The other crew can go home. So my navigators were pre-flighting the weapons because we were supposed to assume alert. And one of the navigators came and got me and says, you need to see this. So I climbed up in the bomb bay and I wormed my way up in between these short-range attack missiles, which are nuclear-tipped rockets we carried. And up on the top one, there was a drop of hydraulic fluid, about a half-inch diameter. That's it. Stop everything. I'm not signing for these weapons. You know, and you could see where the drip came from, but that doesn't matter. Anything tied to nukes had to be perfect all the time.
Right.
Any discrepancy was not tolerated.
So you didn't take authority over the payload
No, because it wasn't
because it wasn't
right. Yeah,
wasn't
There's a
as it was
discrepancy.
supposed to be.